All right, let's talk about buying a new laptop. It can seriously feel like you're entering a battlefield, right? Well, today we're giving you a simple battle plan to cut right through all that confusion. No jargon, no guesswork, just a clear path to finding the perfect machine for you.
Yeah, it's a feeling a lot of us know. You're hit with this barrage of numbers and acronyms that honestly feel like they're designed to confuse you. But don't you worry. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear path to making a really smart choice.
So, our mission today is simple. We're going to gut through all that marketing noise. We're going to help you avoid the two biggest traps out there: overspending on a bunch of features you don't even need, and, maybe even worse, underbuying and getting stuck with a machine that just frustrates you every single day.
Okay, this right here is your foundational first step. Before you even think about looking at a single laptop, you absolutely have to lock in the answers to two critical questions.
And you've got to be honest with yourself here. That little voice that says, oh, but just in case, that's a total budget killer. Your primary mission, whether it's just writing emails or you're editing 4K video, that's what defines the exact tool you need. Everything else flows from this.
Okay, so once you know your mission, the next step is to find your user profile. This is hands down the fastest way to filter out like 80% of the laptops on the market that are completely irrelevant to you. It just instantly brings focus to your search.
So let's see where you fit in. If you're a light user, mostly browsing, streaming shows, working on documents, then portability is probably your key feature. A professional who's juggling dozens of tabs and apps, you need speed. And if you're a creator or a gamer, editing video, designing things, you just need pure, raw power. Go ahead, take a second and find your profile on this table.
Now that you've got your mission and your profile figured out, it is time to decode the specs. We're going to focus on the big three, the core components, and we'll use some really simple analogies to make it all crystal clear.
First up is the CPU. The easiest way to think about this is that it's the laptop's brain. It does all the heavy lifting, all the thinking, and really the two main players you'll see out there are Intel and AMD. And luckily for us, they have a pretty similar structure.
The power hierarchy is actually pretty simple. For both Intel and AMD, a bigger number just means more power. A 3 is for your light use, a 5 is the mainstream sweet spot for most people, and a 7 or a 9 is for that really high-performance work. Think of it like a simple ladder of power. The higher you go, the more powerful it is.
But honestly, for the vast majority of people, we're talking students, professionals, pretty much everyone, a modern Core i5 or a Ryzen 5 hits that perfect balance of performance and price. This is the level that makes sure everything is smooth, your web browsing is snappy, and it can even handle some photo editing without a problem. It's really the ideal place to start your search.
All right, next up is RAM. So if the CPU is the brain, then RAM is like your desk or your workspace. The more RAM you have, the bigger your desk is, which means you can have more apps and tabs open all at once, without everything slowing to a crawl.
Now, while 8 gigabytes is the absolute bare minimum these days, 16 gigabytes has really become the new standard. That's the sweet spot that's going to make sure you have a smooth experience for years to come. 32 gigs and beyond? That's really only necessary for pros with super demanding workloads.
The last of our big three is storage. Think of this as your laptop's filing cabinet. It's where everything, your files, your apps, your operating system, gets stored long-term. But, and this is a big but, when it comes to storage, the type you choose is way more important than the size.
And here is the huge difference. An SSD, a solid-state drive, is modern and just lightning fast. An HDD, or hard disk drive, is old tech. It's literally a slow, mechanical spinning disk inside your computer. I'm telling you, having an SSD is the single biggest thing that makes a laptop feel fast from the second you turn it on.
Okay, let's make this as simple as possible. Your laptop must have an SSD. This is a non-negotiable rule. Do not, under any circumstances, buy a new machine with one of those old-school hard drives as its main storage. Seriously. So, how much storage do you need? Well, 512 gigabytes is a fantastic starting point for pretty much everyone. Now, if you know you're going to be storing a lot of big files, tons of high-res photos, videos, or big games, then aiming for 1 terabyte is a very smart move.
So we've covered the big three core components. Now it's time for the final checks. The little details that can actually make a huge difference before we pull it all together in our complete battle plan.
Let's just run through this final checklist real quick. First, the GPU, or graphics card. If you're a creator or a gamer, a dedicated GPU is a must-have for performance. For everyone else, look for a screen that's at least 1080p.
that's also known as Full HD, so you get a nice, sharp image. Your operating system? That's a personal choice, really, between Windows and macOS. And finally, check the ports. Make sure it has the connections you need so you don't have to live a life of carrying around a bunch of adapters.
And here it is, our entire battle plan in 4 simple steps. 1. Set your budget and your mission. 2. Pick your profile. 3. And this is key, prioritize your specs in this exact order. An SSD first, then 16 gigs of RAM, and then the best CPU you can afford. And 4, and this is only for you gamers and creators out there, add a dedicated GPU. That's the plan.
So, there you have it. You're not just a shopper anymore. You are an informed buyer with a clear, effective strategy. You are now equipped with the knowledge to cut through all that noise, ignore the hype, and find the absolute perfect machine for you. You're ready. Go get 'em.